Hello, my name is Elle Gilbert. I'm a former Eagan Funfest Ambassador and a current member of the Eagan Funfest Ambassador Committee. The Funfest Ambassadors serve as youth representatives of the Eagan community and their host organization, Eagan's July 4th Funfest. The Ambassador Program is a scholarship opportunity for boys and girls between the ages of 10 and 19 who are interested in participating in leadership, volunteerism, community interaction, and public appearance activities. Beginning in May, the candidates participate in a series of judged events leading up to Eagan's July 4th Funfest. Up to 6 of the candidates are selected to serve as ambassadors for the upcoming year. Today, the 2016-2017 ambassadors will share their perspectives of the candidate process and their experience as Funfest ambassadors. Now let's meet the ambassadors.
Hi, my name is Autumn Manny. I'm 14 years old. I go to Blackhawk Middle School and my sponsor is Ideal Credit Union.
Hi, my name is Ian Anderson. I'm 11 years old. I go to St. Joseph School and my sponsor is Tracy Caffrey Photography.
I'm Emma Anderson. I go to Eagan High School. I'm 17 years old and I'm honored to be sponsored by Jam Dance Company.
My name is Mackenzie Martin. I am 17. I go to Eagan High School as well, and my sponsor is Mulcahy Heating and Plumbing Company.
Now let's learn some things about the ambassador candidate process. The first question, how did you find out about the ambassador program?
I found out about the ambassador program through a friend of mine. Her name was Leah Head. She was an ambassador last year and she talked to me about it at school, and I thought that it would be a super fun opportunity.
I found out about the Eagan Funfest program because at a lot of places there are posters up for it, and I found out about that. I thought would be really fun.
And you've been doing a lot of poster distribution for this year.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
I found out through a couple friends of mine who had done it in the past, and I've also seen the ambassadors throughout the community.
I saw posters throughout my school and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go ahead and try.
All right. What did your friends and family think about you being an ambassador candidate?
My friends and family were all super excited when I decided to do it. At first I thought it was more pageanty, but throughout it they've learned that it's more towards volunteerism.
My parents also were very excited for me to become an Eagan Funfest ambassador, and they thought it was good that I would do more volunteering also.
My parents and friends were super supportive, even though my mom was a little bit worried about my busy schedule. We definitely made a good adjustment, and I'm really happy I participated.
My friends and family were also very supportive of me going for the ambassador program, and like Emma, I was worried about my busy schedule, but it's very manageable.
We will talk about your busy schedules in a little bit, but first, describe the candidate family potluck picnic. What was the dish that you brought, and why did you choose to bring that dish?
For the potluck, we all had a picnic outside in the summer, and I brought wreaths that were made of marshmallow and cornflakes because it's a family tradition for Christmas. And the potluck was super fun. It was laid back and we got to play games with the current ambassadors.
At the candidate potluck, I brought Rice Krispie bars with chocolate and peanut butter because they're my favorite dessert, and it was a really fun picnic.
At the ambassador candidate, at the picnic, I brought cookie dough dip to share with everyone because I always bring it to all my dance competitions and everyone seems to love it.
For the ambassador picnic, candidate picnic, I brought crescent rolls, or hot dogs wrapped in crescent rolls, to resemble how when I was younger I was not open to trying new things, but now I am a lot different and love to go for new opportunities, especially the ambassador program. I thought it was a great event to get to know all the candidates.
Now I'm getting hungry. Describe how you introduced yourself to the Funfest committee and during the Meet the Candidate night. What did you wear and why did you choose to wear that?
The Meet the Candidate event was at the Eagan Community Center. It was our very first public speaking event that was judged. That one was pretty nerve-wracking, but it was really fun. You just had to be confident in what you said.
What did you wear?
I wore pajamas, my volleyball jersey, and some medals from volleyball. I think I wore a Girl Scout vest and hiking shoes.
Nice.
I wore a dress that I sewed and also a ballet shoe, my ballet shoes, because I dance.
I had a very mixed up outfit with a big tutu, a soccer jersey from Spain that represented my foreign exchange student that I had last summer, And I also wore some ballet shoes on the bottom as well, like Eden said. But it was a really fun event. Nerve-wracking, of course, but really good to kind of put yourself out there.
For my outfit, I decided to wear my track spikes, some fancy shoes because I love to dress fashionably, and I wore my Interact Club t-shirt for school because I love my volunteer group at school, and I also wore my blazer for my mock trial club at school, and some other things. I also wore my work badge for Old Navy, and just a very mixed up outfit similar to Emma.
You are all very involved in activities. What is one lasting impression that you remember most about your candidate interview process with the judges? Were you nervous? How did you expect it to go?
I think we all started off pretty nervous, but throughout it we figured out that it was more of a conversation, and the judges like to laugh a lot and have fun, so it was definitely not too bad.
There were very easy questions, and just was really easy to talk to them. It was fun too.
Yeah, and I'd agree with Autumn too. It's definitely more of a conversation with the judges, and they're all so nice and like so accepting of mistakes. And so it's really not an event you need to be nervous for. Just come with yourself, and they'll ask you questions about yourself.
Yeah, like Eden said, the questions are super easy. The judges are very nice, and they're so welcoming. I was super nervous for mine, but I found it to be actually really fun.
How does that compare to this interview right here?
Pretty similar, I guess.
I'll open this up to all of you. What were some of the questions that you got? If you remember, that was a few months ago.
They asked like what we're involved in with school to kind of get to know us, and different questions about like if your house was burning in a fire, what's one thing that you would grab? But it was super easy because they were all about yourself, and that's a topic that we all knew pretty well about. So.
You weren't trumped by any questions.
Right.
How did you feel about participating in the Strawberry Festival Parade for Hopkins? It was your first event your first parade as candidates. What did you do for that?
It was super exciting, and the current ambassadors at the time were there to kind of show us the ropes, which was super helpful because we all would have been pretty clueless without them.
I thought it was really fun, and the current ambassadors taught us how to decorate the float, and we did a lot of really fun things, and I really like parades, so it was one of my favorite events.
And you became pros at decorating the float and taking everything down really fast.
Yeah, I would say that parade was such a great experience, and so great to learn from the current ambassadors that were kind of mentoring us and showing us the ropes, and it really helped us build some teamwork when we were setting up the float together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it really helped to get an understanding of how parades work from the past ambassadors. I think it was the most fun to be on the other side of things, waving towards the crowd rather than being in the crowd.
Interesting. Tell me about coronation practice. Why do you need to practice for coronation?
Coronation practice was actually really fun, but we needed to practice that way we knew what would happen during the coronation and when it would happen. And we also got to practice our fishbowl question, which we were all really nervous for, so it definitely helped to practice that.
Like said, we need to practice our fishbowl questions, and also like where to stand if we were crowned, and also like if we had heels and how walk in them too.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Eden. Walking in heels is something I had to practice for a while before getting on stage, but the coronation practice was really fun and definitely made me a lot more nervous when the real thing.
Yeah, like they all said, I think they covered it very well. It was very helpful to kind of know where to stand and where to go if we were crowned, and when to walk down the aisle to answer our fishbowl question. I think practicing the fishbowl question was very, very helpful.
Describe the ambassador coronation event and how you felt that night. Also, what did you wear?
I wore a floor-length blue dress that had beading and jewels throughout here, which was super fun to go dress shopping for. And the coronation itself was super exciting. I think we were all really nervous and kind of anxious, especially when we were getting crowned. We were like, oh, who's going to get crowned? But it was super fun.
I really liked the coronation. At first I was really nervous. Like throughout the thing I kind of got calmer. And I wore a purple dress, and I was so excited that night.
I wore a floor-length pink dress, kind of similar to Autumn's, and it was a really fun night, especially just meeting different members of the community and other royalty from other cities. It was great to start forming those connections with them. And I guess when I got crowned, it almost felt like you were famous. There were so many people coming up to me and congratulating me, and it was just such a welcoming community.
Yeah, for Coronation, I wore a pink a pink ruffled dress. And like Emma said, it was really fun to meet other ambassadors from visiting communities. I thought that was super fun to kind of hear how they were crowned and their experiences as ambassadors. Like we all said, it was really nerve-wracking at first, but once we were crowned, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Now, did you guys get any cake afterwards? Because I know my year, I was way too busy taking pictures that I never got any of the cake.
Oh, for sure. We didn't get any cake.
No. Next year.
Yeah,
this coming year.
Yeah, for sure.
So now let's talk about some of your experiences after you were crowned. What was the most fun aspect of being an ambassador?
The most fun aspect, definitely getting to meet these 3 girls and the other candidates. They were all super fun, and all the other royalty from the different cities and communities are all super nice, so it's been so much fun getting to meet new people.
I think that with everybody, I think that volunteering is really fun with meeting everybody, and you meet so many new people and meeting you 3.
I think the ambassador program has been the most fun through meeting different members of my community and opening myself up to new experiences and new opportunities that I didn't necessarily know were there. I guess I've just been to so many different volunteer events and parades at other cities that I just would never have had the opportunity to do.
Yeah, like Emma said, it's opened a new door to different events and opportunities that I wouldn't have heard about unless I was in the ambassador program. I also think it's so cool to see little girls looking up to you and wanting to do that someday. I think that's probably my favorite part.
Next question. What was your favorite volunteer event throughout the whole year and why?
My favorite volunteer event was the YMCA Trick or Treat over Halloween. We got to stand behind these big white sheets that had like a house design, and we'd stick our hand out through a door and hand these little kids in the most adorable costumes candy. And that was super fun.
My favorite volunteer event was probably the Halloween Hodgepodge because me and the other 3 ambassadors dressed up as Disney princesses.
I think my favorite event was shopping for the Kids for Military and the Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Foundation, and it was just so fun, a really great team bonding activity, and it was super fun to just fill up 5 carts of as many toys as we wanted.
Yeah, my favorite event throughout the year were the ones at Holt's Farm. I think they were super fun to interact with a bunch of different people from the community, and I love Holt's Farm. I had never been there before that, and I think it's so cool that they host so many great events throughout the year.
Back to Eden's answer, what princesses did you all dress as?
I was Cinderella, but I think I could have been Elsa either way with just the long blue dress, which was my coronation dress. It worked out great.
Reuse it.
Yeah.
I was Snow White.
All right.
And I was Belle, and I wore a big puffy yellow dress.
I was Sleeping Beauty or Aurora.
All right. Very fun. Autumn, what is the difference between appearances and volunteer projects?
I think when we do appearances, it's more like parades, and we're more participating in the event, and we're there specifically to have fun and enjoy it. And when we're volunteering, we still obviously absolutely have fun, but we're more there to work the event and kind of help out.
Describe how you were able to meet the requirements of the ambassador events while maintaining participation in your other activities that you mentioned earlier.
I think time management is a big thing, and also doing this, we kind of learn time management too, of how to manage our time. And if we missed an event, we were able to make it up with an optional event, which was really helpful.
Like said, the optional events were helpful too if you needed to miss any, and it was really easy, even though it kind of was a busy schedule. None of it you wouldn't miss a lot of events or anything.
Yeah, like Autumn said, time management was definitely a bit of a challenge this year, but I just have no regrets towards doing this program. But I definitely halfway through the year finally had to get myself a planner and say, I need to get organized. So I've been using that a lot lately, and it's kind of helped me keep track of events and then the other activities I do too.
Yeah, time management is key. Taking advantage of your free time to do homework and get things done is super important, and I think even the busiest people are the best candidates for this program.
So what activities are you all involved in?
I play volleyball, which keeps me super busy, and then I'm involved with my church youth group.
I am involved in competition dance, so it's really busy with, like, there's a lot of stuff that we do for that, but it wasn't hard to do both.
And I'm also involved in competition dance at a studio, and I work at the Outlet Mall in Eagan. And so I've been working there a lot, but I also do a lot of school activities too, such as the Interact Club that Mackenzie mentioned earlier. It's a really great club at the Eagan High School that plans volunteer events for its students.
It goes very well with this program.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm involved in track and mock trial at my school, as well as other extracurricular activities. And I also work at the Outlet Mall, so visit us sometime. But I found that even though doing these different events and being an ambassador is super doable.
Describe one thing you have learned from working as a team with the other ambassadors.
I've learned that it's so much more fun when you get to work with other people. Like, I did an event where it was just me at that event, and I was like, oh my gosh, I miss them so much.
Yeah, kind of like said, it makes volunteer events so much more fun when the ambassadors are there with you, and yeah.
I definitely think us 4 ambassadors have learned how to play off of each other's strengths, and how I just think we're so much stronger as a team, and we all have certain areas of strength, and we just really play off of each other in that way.
Yeah, I think being with these 3 has made all these events so much more fun. I don't think if one of us wasn't doing it, it's not as fun. If all 4 of us are there, it's so much fun. Like Emma said, we all have our different strengths, and I think we all put them to great use during events.
So the ambassadors represent the Fun Fest throughout the year at many events outside of Eagan. What were some of those events?
We did Can Do Canines in New Hope, so it was people that had some sort of a disability, and they were being paired with a service dog, and so we got to see them graduate, which was pretty cool.
Super cute.
Mm-hmm.
I really like seeing other cities' coronations, because it was so nice to see them be happy too and become royalty with us.
What were some of the groups that you were closest with? I know Inver Grove, you're always at appearances with them. Are there any other cities?
We've gotten really close with Farmington.
Mm-hmm.
They're super nice girls.
Yes, definitely.
And going off of that, Mackenzie and I this winter had the opportunity to go to the St. Paul Winter Carnival for the Queen's Weekend.
And I saw you there.
Yes, and we had over 100 other ambassadors and royalty staying with us at a hotel. And then over a span of 3 days, we participated in all the Winter Carnival activities. We got to see the Vulcans, the Winter Carnival Coronation, and we had so much fun meeting everyone.
Yeah, it was a great time to mingle with everybody and get to know where everyone was from. Some people were from Wisconsin or other parts of Minnesota, and it was cool to hear how their ambassador program worked as well.
Describe how being an ambassador has changed you. Have you grown in any ways?
I have definitely grown in public speaking and being able to just walk up to people I've never met before and start a conversation with them. So just being much more confident in that.
In the ambassador program, I've met so many new people, and like almost all of us said earlier, it's so much more fun volunteering with each other, and it really can make it super fun.
Yeah, going back to what Autumn said, I've definitely improved my public speaking skills, and I can speak so much more eloquently now, and to anybody. It's a really great way to meet new people and find new opportunities too. I'm not afraid to put myself out there anymore.
Yeah, in addition to public speaking skills, I think my confidence has definitely grown a lot more with the ambassador program, and I think that's so important.
What advice do you have for someone who is considering becoming an ambassador candidate?
I would say go for it. It's been so much fun. Just put yourself out there and enjoy it, because it goes by fast.
I think that you really should try it no matter what. Even if you're really busy, it isn't hard to do with everything else. and it's super fun.
A lot of times when I find great candidates for the ambassador program, I'll usually get the response that I'm too busy. However, to that I would say, I think this program just attracts the busiest kind of people, the people that just love to do so many things and love to be involved in their community. And I would say to anybody that has a passion for learning new things, for putting themselves out there, for volunteering, that this is such a great opportunity, and that I would hate for you to regret not trying it.
Yeah, like Autumn said, I would just go for it. I think if you looked back several years from now and decided that you wish you would have done it, I think that would be a huge regret. So if anyone is considering the program, I think they should just go for it and take a leap of faith and try it.
Well, thank you, ambassadors. We hope that the ambassadors have answered some of the questions you might have about becoming a FunFest ambassador. We encourage both young men and young women to participate in the program. The ambassador program welcomes candidates from the cities of Eagan, Apple Valley, Burnsville, Mendota, Mendota Heights, Rosemount, and Sunfish Lake. There will be an informational meeting on Wednesday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Think Mutual Bank in Eagan. This is for potential candidates and parents to find out more about the program. Join us at Eagan's July 4th FunFest celebration, July 2nd through the 4th at Eagan Central Park, and the Ambassador Coronation on July 10th at the Community Center. We hope to see you there. For more information about the Eagan Funfest and the Ambassador Program, please visit our website at eaganfunfest.org.